Live from wherever RB&D Reviews records their videos, it's time for the best, worst, and most disappointing movies so far of 2011. Hey, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hey, call me, will you?
Rob!
What?
We're trying to do a show here.
Alright, I'm sorry. Okay. Hey everybody, well welcome to our video. I'm Rob.
And I'm Dave.
And since we're a little over halfway through the year, and since the summer blockbuster season will be over very soon, we decided that we're going to go ahead and pick a choice for the best, worst, and disappointing movies of 2011. And since there were a lot of superhero movies this past summer, we're also going to pick a favorite and a least favorite superhero movie.
Now we both have our own individual envelopes for each category,
Yep.
So there's a good chance that we didn't pick the same stuff, so we may get into heated arguments over things if there are certain movies that you thought I was stupid to pick and all that. So.
Well, I mean, and also, we don't know each other's choices. I mean, right before we shot this video, we took our envelopes, we went off, we wrote our own choices, so I don't know your pick, you don't know my pick. It'll be a lot of fun. We could get into a heated debate, like you said. Alright, so here's how the process works. As Dave mentioned, each of us has an envelope for each category. What's going to happen is I'm going to pick, let's say, for example, I'm going to pick Dave's envelope for his pick for the best. I'm going to read it, and Dave here is going to explain why it's his best pick. And then he's going to take my envelope for best pick, and he is going to open it and read it, and I'll be able to tell you guys, as well as Dave here, why that was my pick for the best. So we're going to be taking turns, and it'll be...
We're going to start out with me reading his first choice, and we're going to start out with the category under disappointing.
Okay, Dave. Here's my pick for the most disappointing movie of the year so far. For me.
Limitless.
Yeah, that's the movie that stars Bradley Cooper as this guy that takes this pill, and it opens up the ability to use a part of the brain that we don't use. I found this movie kind of disappointing, Dave, because I felt they made it too much like an action movie, and I felt like it could have been a really smart and intelligent film. But, I mean, and we also get Robert De Niro as a guy that kind of wants to take advantage of Bradley Cooper's character, but I felt like, even though he brought a good presence to it, I felt like he wasn't really used to a greater advantage. I mean, this could have been a very excellent, smart thriller, and I felt like they just changed it into a mindless action film, in my opinion. So, Limitless is my pick for the most disappointing movie of the year.
All right, here's mine for disappointing.
Okay, and your pick for the most disappointing movie of the year so far? Priest. Why was that, Dave?
Well, a lot of times it seemed like the actors were like just being fed their lines or reading off the script, because they would stare blankly into the camera and everything. And also, I didn't like how it was in 3D, because I saw it in 3D. I know you could have seen it regularly also, but watching it in 3D was just too distracting, and it was like hurting my eyes with all the bright lights in the film when they'd come out three-dimensionally. I did like the action sequences, though. That's one thing that I did like about this film. So.
Well, you didn't really like anything else?
No, not really.
Okay, Dave, what category would you like to do next?
Let's do worst.
Okay, then. Here's my pick for the worst movie of 2011 so far for me.
You picked Your Highness.
Yeah, the reason why this movie... I had a hard time with this particular category of worst, because there's a lot of movies I really didn't like this year that I snuffed, but I think of all of them, this one I enjoyed the least, because with the other ones like Sucker Punch and Priest, you know, there was something there that did keep me interested in the story, but with Your Highness, there was nothing. I mean, you got a good premise, you got a fairy tale parody, sort of, with all that, but the thing is, I didn't think the movie was funny at all. The writing was pretty lazy, and the editing was messed up, and plus there was one scene where James Franco and Danny McBride, they're the knights that are on the quest to find James Franco's Princess Bride character, and they go visit this wizard to go get information, and the thing is, the scene suggests that James Franco's character might have been molested by this wizard, and to me, that's not very funny. And there's been a lot of stories in the paper with this past year where there's a lot of molestation stuff going on, and I thought that was in bad taste, but in general, this movie just wasn't very funny, and I think this is definitely going to be on my worst of 2011 list at the end of the year, but this movie was not funny and I didn't like it at all, so that's my pick.
I agree.
Okay, so what do you got next for worst? Let's see what your pick was. Okay, you picked Your Highness?
Yeah.
Yeah!
Woo! finally agree on that. Yeah, I basically agree with everything you just said. Yeah, the script was really bad, and the acting was like okay. I mean, it wasn't really the actor's fault; it was the script. But yeah, it was like really disgusting. This movie, especially like how you were saying with the when they go visit the wizard and all that. That was just uncalled for and all that.
Okay, so we're kind of in agreement here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of weird because when we did the video, it sounded like we were close, but you gave it a render and I snuffed it back when we did this one.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I kind of enjoyed it a little more than you did, to the point that I would rent it, but I wasn't gonna go see it in theaters.
Yeah. Too bad we did, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, what category would you like to do next?
Next, we're gonna do best.
The best. Okay, Dave. Oh wait, yeah, you read my best first. Okay.
And your best was Midnight in Paris.
For me, the reason why I thought Midnight in Paris was the best movie for me so far was I thought it was for one thing, it's a big refresher from all the other summer movies. This movie was directed by Woody Allen, and it starred Owen Wilson as a guy who decides to go with his fiancée to Paris, and he really loves Paris. I mean, it's compared to all the other special effects blockbusters and superhero movies, like I said, it's refreshing. It was very, very funny, and for me, it was relatable because Owen Wilson's character has been talking about what if he could go live in the 1920s and in Paris when a lot of American writers, he plays a writer himself. Why not go back there when all the American writers were over there, like Fitzgerald, and he talks about Hemingway. It was just for me, it was a relatable comedy, and there was some nice romance, and it was definitely different. Rachel McAdams plays the fiancée, and it was a really great picture, and I hope people check this movie out when it comes out on DVD. A lot of people that went to see it, like my friend Matt and my parents, they really, really loved it, and I hope this gets a big audience because I know a lot of people complain, oh, they're all superhero movies, they're all action movies, there's these dumb action stuff and all this stuff. They should have gone to see Midnight in Paris when it wasn't playing in theaters. It was really good, and it's different. I mean, it does retrend a lot of other Woody Allen elements, like there's a touch of elements like from Purple Rose of Cairo from 1985, but I thought compared to all the other movies, it was a good breath of fresh air, and I hope people check it out on DVD. It's definitely going to be on my best list for 2011.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't get to go see it in theaters. I wish I had now.
Get it on DVD. Rent it on DVD when it comes out. I'm not sure what the date is, but you got to check it out. It's real great. Okay. Whoa. For best, you picked Paul.
Yeah, I thought this movie was like really funny. I mean, I remember you and me had given it a mild see it in theaters because there was some things that we didn't care for, but yeah, this still was one of my favorites because I'm a real big Simon Pegg fan and a Nick Frost fan, and just the things that Paul would do was like really funny. I mean, I remember us saying that it was kind of hard to follow because there was all these other characters that would come in and out sometimes, but yeah, I just really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I don't know if I would say it was one of the best, but I liked most of it. I think the ending for me didn't really work, and I also thought they were trying to go too much in a commercial approach. What I liked about Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead was, it felt like genuine Nick Frost, Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg films, very Britishy. But here, it's like they're trying to go for a more commercial direction. Like I said, they got American comedians like Jason Bateman and Kristen Wiig coming in and doing their shtick, and Seth Rogen and all that stuff. And they tried to mix all this different comedy, different types of comedy together. Some of it worked, some of it didn't, but it's fine.